channel. Today's video is going to be my beginner's contouring and highlighting routine. Now I've done a beginner's foundation routine and I will be doing a eyebrow routine and a eye routine just for beginners. But today I'm just doing the contouring routine. I have already applied my foundation. I haven't used any concealer or set the foundation with anything. So I'm going to do that all in this video. I know I did the concealer and the powder in the other video, but the concealer for me is a lot like it is highlighting. So I thought I would add that into this video as well, just because the foundation routine, a foundation routine is like just the foundation, but you also have to do concealing with that also. So I'm just going to add that in both these videos just because that's how you go. It's a bit complicated, but yeah. But first up I'm going to be using the Nars Radiant Creamy Concealer. Now, I know in the foundation routine that I use a lot of drugstore products. Well, today I'm using drugstore products for the things that you don't need high-end products for. But I am using a high-end bronzer. It's Benefit. I'm not sure if you class Benefit as high-end, but this is like the world's best bronzer contouring duo, and you only need the one product for contouring and bronzing, and it's only $52, which is kind of expensive, but I can't find a nice bronzer or contouring powder at the drugstore. I am still looking, but at the moment Benefit Hoola bronzer, best thing invented, and totally worth the $52. And because it lasts, I've had this for maybe 3 years now. I use it every time I do my makeup, and I don't do my makeup every single day, but I've made a bit of a dent in there. That's quite a long time. And the highlighter I've got is also a higher end product, and it is the MAC Soft and Gentle highlighter. Now I cannot find a highlighter as good as this in the drugstore. You've got you can do Chi, but they're not as good, and there are a few other highlighters that are good, but they're not as good as my higher end ones. I'm sorry about my throat. I've got a little bit of a, if I sound different than normal, I have a sore throat and a bit of a blocked nose, so. And also, if you can tell, I've dyed my hair yesterday, and so I put a red hair dye. Just my mum did it with like a packet dye that you get, and yeah, I love it. Well, let's get started. So first up, we're going to conceal / highlight underneath our eyes. Now I'm using the Nars Radiant Creamy Concealer, just because I find it's one of the best concealers. It does crease on me, but every concealer creases on me, even Macbook Pro Longwear, so I just go with it. So what I do is I start from the inner corner here, and then I just bring it underneath the eye. Now I think I told this in my foundation routine, but I don't put any foundation underneath my eyes, just because foundation is not designed for that. And then I keep applying it underneath, and then I go in a triangle, so from wherever I stop, I grab the concealer and just drag it down to in line to where my nose is, and then I just bring it back up to match the concealer. Colour it in. So I'll do it on the other side also. So start in the inner corner, underneath the eyes, and then I go one more time underneath, and then in a little triangle. And then I also just use the same concealer, but this time I just use it on the side. And I just put it on the tip of my nose, only halfway, because then we'll blend it back up the nose. And just 3 little lines on my forehead, And then I also go on my chin. I'm going to use the Sigma F86 brush. You can also use the Real Techniques brush, the Real Techniques setting brush, but mine's broken and it's got a bit of oil in it still. I'm washing it. So what I do is I start from the chin, like last applied, first blended. Yeah, just blend that out by just tapping the brush over it, and then I use my finger for my thumb, my finger for my nose, and then I dab the brush over the top, and then I just blend out the forehead. I try not to go in between my eyebrows because it just doesn't look that good. And then what I do underneath my eyes is I grab my finger, any finger will do, and just blend out the inner corner. Blend it up towards my lashes, because when I apply the concealer I don't apply it, as you can see, I don't apply it right up underneath my eyes. So I just grab my finger and I blend it out. And then I just blend it down. Don't worry about the line, we go back in with the brush. But I'm going to do the other side now. And then we go in with the brush. And I just tap and then blend the sides and then tap the center. And then I just go back in with my finger underneath the eye. And if you need to, you can just blend the concealer onto the eyelid. Now to set the concealer in place, I grab my Australis AC on Tour palette and I grab these two lighter shades, and then I apply it with my Tapered highlighter brush from Sigma. And so what I do here is I just grab a tiny mirror, blend out the line, set right underneath my eye with the two shades, and just exactly in that triangle shape. And then we just do it to the other eye. And then to set the center of the face, I just grab the beige shade and just run that down the center of my nose, my forehead, and then my chin. And then I just go back in with the banana shade and I just apply that directly underneath by itself. And if you apply a lot of concealer on your eyes, you can set that with the beige shade also. But I didn't, so I'm not going to. Now to set the rest of the face, I'm using the Australis Fresh and Force pressed powder and my Sigma F30 brush. And then you just have to tap it in. And it doesn't matter if you go over the edges of the concealer that you just applied. Ensure you blend the pressed powder down your neck. And then I just set everything but underneath my eyes. So even where we set the concealer before on the center of our face, we just apply it with, just go over it again with the pressed powder. Now on to the fun part, the contouring. First thing is, when you contour, you have to find your hollows of your cheeks. And the best way to find that is make a little duck face. And then you can see as I was making the duck face, that here is my hollows of the cheeks. And so you don't really want to go, with this product you just have to sort of map it out. becomes a lot easier once you know where your hollows of your cheeks are and how to apply it. But you don't really want to go below here. I sort of like to go in between the top of my lip and the bottom of my nose. So I like to stop at about here, and you go all the way up to the top of the ear. So I'll show you. So I just use the Hoola bronzer and a small contour brush. You can also use an angled contour brush, but I prefer this one. And so what I do is I just have to press the product in. I use the side of this brush. And then so you don't really want to go below this line. But what I do is then I put a little bit of product on the tip and just blend it. And if it's easier for you, you can just do the duck face while you apply your contour. And so I use the Benefit Hoola bronzer just because it's a bronzer as well as like a cool tone contour. So you can bronze up your cheek before you apply your blush. Make sense? Cool. Just do it to the other side now. And I still do the duck face when I apply my contour. It just became a habit. And then just with the top of the brush, I pull back the top of my hair and just contour / bronze my forehead. Now this will depend on the shape of your face, will depend on how you contour. So my face, because of my cowlick here, is like a really heart shaped. So I like to contour just up here, bronze. And I don't apply that much up here just because I don't feel like it needs much. And then I also contour the sides of my nose. I actually do this with this brush because I find it gives it that diffused look, which I like. So I just basically sort of start in the middle and then just blend them out. And I make sure I go all the way up here, but very lightly touch it up there. Add the most of the product on the sides of the nose. Then after all that contouring is done, you look at yourself in the mirror and then you figure out what needs to be darker. So for me that would be the sides of my forehead, so just apply a little bit more. So how I go with my contour, I go hollows of the cheeks, sides of the forehead, then my nose, and then I go back to the sides of my hollows of my cheeks or my forehead. I would do my forehead and then come, because I always leave the hollows of my cheeks to darken them up until the end, just to see if they actually need to be darkened. And then I go back up the face. So I go blush, highlight, and then my brows, and then eyes, and then the lips. So that's how I apply my face. But yeah, for blush I'm going to be using L'Oreal La Blush in Nectar. So I just apply, dab the brush into the blush, and then tap off the brush, the excess. And then I use the angled brush, as you can see. So they're good for contouring, but I like this for blush because my blush kind of follows my contour. And I just dab this on right up until the apples of the cheeks, and I apply it on the apples of the cheeks also, and then I just blend it out slightly. And I ensure that I go over the contour just so it looks very seamless. And then once I apply it and then blend it, if I find it needs a little bit more blending, I'll go in with like a small dual fibre brush and blend it out. So it's just like light, feathery movements, barely touching the skin. And then for highlight, I use MAC Soft and Gentle Highlighter. You can find a lot of nice highlighters from like the drugstore, but I like this one. And then I just use the Sigma Tapered highlighter brush, and now this one is different to the one I use underneath my eyes. So that's the one I use underneath my eyes with the copper bit, and then this one's the chrome that I use to highlight. So I just apply this highlight on the top of my cheekbone. So as you can see, you've got a high point here, and then you go up a little bit and it dips down to your under eyes. So I just apply it on the top, blending it in with the blush. And you can apply as much as you want. I like a nice subtle highlight, but still a highlight. And then I just apply it on the tip of my nose, so I just go back and forth. And now I don't apply it on my forehead, so that's where I like to apply, that's why I like the concealer up there, just to brighten it. But I do like to apply highlighter right above my eyebrow, and I don't like to apply it up my nose, just on the tip, just because it's the high point, and it looks quite highlighted anyway because of the contour and the concealer that I applied there. And I don't like applying highlighter on my chin either. So basically everywhere that we applied the concealer in the center of the face, I don't like to apply highlighter there. So that's why I apply the concealer or the light highlight concealing thing. But because we didn't apply concealer on my cupid's bow, I like to apply the highlight there and then on my tip of my nose again. And that is it. So that is my contouring and highlighting routine for beginners. So I really explained quite a lot of where you apply everything. So you apply a light concealer underneath your eyes, make sure it's lighter than your actual skin because you highlight with it, and then it's easier to correct the dark circles. And so you just apply the concealer in a triangle underneath your eyes, not going any further than your nose. Apply it on the bridge of your nose, your chin, and the middle of your forehead. Blend it out, set it with a setting powder. Banana shades are really awesome, but if you're too light, mix them with a beige shade. Then I set the rest of my face, which is simple, and then I go into contouring. So I contour the hollows of my cheeks. To find your hollows of your cheeks, do a little duck face, awesome. And then you can apply it while you're doing the duck face. And then you apply contour on the sides of your forehead, depending on your face shape. If you've got a square face, apply them in the square part. Triangle shape, don't apply any, just apply it underneath here. So if you've got a triangle shape and your face sort of looks like that, it's really hard to explain, don't apply any contour here, but apply it down here. If you've got a square face, also apply contour down here as well as on your forehead. Yeah, but other than that, I think most other face shapes just apply on the sides of your forehead. If you've got an oval face shape, you don't actually need to contour at all. I would still contour your cheekbones and the side of your nose, just for some definition into the face, but other than that, it's perfect. And then I just apply blush on the apples of my cheeks and up a bit. And then I blend the blush into the contour, and then I blend the highlight into the blush. and the blush and the highlight just goes on the top of my cheekbones before the... You can actually feel the cheekbones, but if you need to know where they are, just grab a pencil and roll the brush up, and when it goes up, that's your high points, and before it goes down, if that makes sense. I just apply it up near my under eyes, and then I apply it, highlight, on the top of my brows, tip of my nose, and my cupid's bow. I don't apply it on my chin, the rest of my nose, or my forehead because I'm oily. But if you are dry, I recommend doing that 100%, because if I apply highlight in those places, it will look like a greasy mess and it's just disgusting. So yeah, that's the end of this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and that was just my little overview of what to do. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and if you did, please give a big thumbs up, and please subscribe to my channel because it means so much to me when you guys do, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Thanks guys.